It says, under the justice shall flourish, where it says the fundamental option for the poor. Sometimes we often hear it said in our country, the preferential option, but that preferential option is really, fundamental. It's fundamental to who we are. And it's the scripture quote here is, as often as you have done it to the least of these my people, you have done it to me. So that's our backdrop for tonight. And you're not here as someone who's never heard this before. You are going to be very much a part of the input and the conversation, so get yourself ready. And as Monica and I were talking about this, we said, well, our goal as we share tonight and as we open this up for you tonight is to revisit what does fundamental option or any form of option for the poor mean to you and to me right now. And what does it mean to live Salesian spirituality, live as a follower of Pope Francis, live the school of the Beatitudes. That's all about happiness and blessing and poverty of spirit and great wealth. And the past few Sundays have really helped to prepare us, because we had a couple of weeks ago on All Saints Day, we had the Beatitudes. And then right the week before that, the week we were planning, we had Bartimaeus, the story of Bartimaeus, and who had nothing. And even the nothing he had, he cast aside. His little cloak he cast aside to receive the blessing of Jesus. And you and I all can recall the words that when Jesus heard him crying out, heard you and me crying out, what does Jesus say to you and me? And what did he say to him? What can I do for you? So that's really the stance. It's another part of the backdrop. Jesus saying, as we think about this topic, what can I do for you to open you up, to encourage you, to thank you? I think Jesus wants to do all those things for each one of us. And it all comes out of, that awareness. We even think about yesterday and the gospel for yesterday with the widow. What gave that widow the freedom to give all that she had, even though she had nothing? That's the kind of freedom I think we're all aiming for. And we're going to get there in different ways. We're striving to get there in different ways, but we have it as a goal. And how good it is to be even thinking about this in this house, in this neighborhood, at this time in history. So as we become aware that Jesus asks you and me, what can I do for you tonight? And wants to answer it, we know that will influence what he does for us, will influence the way that we choose to live our lives in solidarity, in mutuality, in outpoured love. And as I was thinking about it, I was thinking, well, what that fundamental option probably means, first of all, recognizing Karen Mohan is poor. I am poor. I am in need of Jesus, and Jesus wants me to have what I need so that, like Bartimaeus, I can be his disciple. So put your own name there. Melissa, Bryce, Christy. I'm poor. Mm-hmm. I'm in need of Jesus, and Jesus wants to provide for me. And once we can get in touch with that, I think it will just free us to go back to this book, as we're going to do in a little while. So now I want to ask you, can you all hear me okay? Okay, we're going to lead you, I'm going to lead you in a short prayer, a guided meditation of sorts. So put your feet on the floor, get rid of anything that might be distracting to you. And of quiet breathing, welcome the presence of Jesus in your heart. Thank God for God's presence in your life. Naming one specific moment or experience of this day that you are particularly grateful for. Just quietly acknowledge that. Then become aware if there was any way that you reached out to be with someone in need this day, whether it was an actual being with that person, a prayer for that person, an action done on behalf of that person. Again, thank God for that opportunity. Now I invite you to let well up any way that you yourself might have experienced being in need, poor this day. Be it how you felt physically, emotionally, spiritually. Perhaps it was an inability to be there for someone or to stand up to a person or a situation that you wished you could have. Or perhaps in need of a virtue that would have helped you to be more spirit-led. If you have been in touch with that, give that poverty over to God right now. Give that need over, hand it over, and ask Jesus for the grace to meet that situation or give you that help, the help that you long for to be his follower. And finally, imagine Jesus receiving that prayer, your request. How is he responding to you? Now take 2 more deep breaths of gratitude and handing over your need this night to our God. If your eyes were closed, you can open them now. And Monica and I invite you to find someone that maybe you haven't really had a chance to visit with before, and we're just going to give you, each person, we're going to give you 4 minutes, two minutes per person, not much, to share any part of that little guided meditation that you would like to share with them. So find somebody that maybe you